I wanted to hit upon something that I've always talked about this for a while, and then I decided not to. And I thought maybe it's not the right thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it'll cause a bit of a backlash if I do it. And I've put this off for quite a while, and then something sort of triggered me recently to think, you know what? I think I need to do this. I need to address this in some way. And whether it invigorates people to do it, whether it invigorates SA to change something, I don't know. I'm not here with any ulterior motive other than to say that something needs to change. And this is not me having a dig at playtest because I got kicked out of it. It's very easy to say, oh, was just doing this because he's not in it anymore. But I felt that when I was in playtest, yes, I was very opinionated. But I felt like I was a bit of a driving force in there, trying to drive discussions, trying to drive opinions. Even though opinions didn't match my own, it was good to see people having discussions, even arguments. And although sometimes it can look as if it's a bit toxic, it depends on how you take it. It can be toxic if you take someone's opinion and take it personal, or if you get personal. I've seen many a conversation in playtests where people have gone, yeah, but you're only saying that because you're a lot of a player. And you don't need to say that, you know. And I've seen plenty of times that happen. But I just think that if you stay, like, nothing wrong with saying, I think you're wrong, or saying, I don't think it'll work like that, or I can't see people using it that way. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But when I was in playtest, there's quite a few opinionated people giving their opinion. And I've said plenty of times that if you're in playtest and you're giving your opinion, then kudos to you. Fine. I have more respect for you for doing that. What I really disliked as a playtester myself when I was there was seeing plenty of people in playtest and people begging to be in playtest, people applying for playtest. Don't forget, people are not forced to go into playtest. People are just offering to go in playtest, in my view, for the good of the game because they think they can improve the game. So for me, there's nothing worse than having people in playtest that don't talk. That for me is criminal. It's honestly the worst thing for me. And so, with the Ryan packs coming out, we're going to talk about them later on. But I felt like there was still some changes to be made. And so there's quite a few iterations, but the last iteration that we're going to see soon was done on the 30th of July, which was 11 days ago. So, in the past 11 days, I don't think this is the finished article of the bot. I think there's could be some changes to be made, whether it's the DPS, whether it's the HP. I was never happy as a content creator, as a playtester. Really, there was always something I looked where I think could do this. I think could do a bit more of that, or finding bugs. And I know they say playtesters shouldn't be finding bugs, but I would do it and go, it's not quite working this way. It's not quite working that way. I think this needs to change because of this reason. I'm constantly giving feedback right to the last minute. But I looked in playtest at how many people have actually contributed to this bot. And so currently there's 25 people in playtest. But only 12 people have actually given feedback on the new bot. Which means there's 13 people in playtest that haven't even given their opinion on the bot. Now granted, there is a survey. I don't like the survey personally. It's just a yes and no answer. So it's like, do you think this bot needs more ability damage? And it's very closed. And to be honest, I think it's almost quite leading sometimes on the way they put it, on how they word it even. Like, it's not very well worded sometimes. And I like a discussion sometimes in playtest. Because you will say something, and sometimes I've said something and gone, yeah, I think it needs more of this. And then someone will post a video and go, well, this is how I've used the bot. And you go, oh, yeah, maybe not do that than what I suggested, because they've used it that way. People use bots different ways at different results, and so you've got to be careful sometimes. Look at different aspects. And same for me. Some people said one thing and they've gone, oh, I would use it this way, and I've gone, I would use it that way, and they've gone, well, I wouldn't use it that way, and I've gone, yeah, but if you do, this is what happens, and vice versa. People have different ideas. So when you've only got 12 people out of 25 putting comments in about the bot, it worries me. You've only got 12 opinions in there. And what worries me even worse is since the 30th of July, only 9 people have given any feedback on the new model of the bot. That's only a third of playtest have actually commented. And out of those 9 people, only 2 people have made more than 3 comments. So 7 people have only put 2 comments. And listen, I haven't included comments such as like, I don't have the core yet, or can someone level my bot, or something like that. Are you locked out your playtest account? I've not included those. That's just general discussion about playtest. But for only 9 people to talk about the bot since the 30th of July, which is the last iteration, and out of those 9 people, only a few to actually have a conversation about it, that really worries me about playtest. And I start to think that, is playtest sort of dead? Have we sort of lost the ability to have an argument or a discussion or whatever it is about these bots and go, I don't agree with it? Are people just trying to be too polite, Space Ape, since they've seen the IO kicked out? Are they worried they're going to lose their position if they argue? I don't know. I just know that PlayStation. All I know is that playtest has gone backwards, and I just feel like sometimes we'll be in playtest and Space Ape will go, "Oh, we're going to talk to the Alliance leaders and see what they think." And I just think that if you're going to speak to Alliance leaders and go, what do you want from this bot? And then make change and give it to playtest. What's the point in having playtest? And no doubt that most of those people that are in that top Alliance chat, leaders, were in playtest at some point and chose probably not to participate, and hence why they're no longer in there. So my big question is, like, if you've got all these people in this chat, why not incorporate them into playtest where they can test the bot rather than asking them an opinion when they haven't got the bot? I just think that playtest is not working at all right now. I think it's failing. And we talked for quite a while around Space Ape not listening to playtesters, but it's hard for Space Ape to listen to playtesters if playtesters are not having discussions. So I don't know. I think some people are giving up on playtest a bit because of not being heard. Maybe I think some people just fill out the survey and have done with it. But I just know that when I was in playtest, I would literally put hours into it. I would literally put hours upon hours upon hours. I know people have gone, bring Wozza back to playtest, but I would not go back now if you paid me. Honestly, because it used to take up so much of my time. And I know I said that, I don't take things personally, but I did take it personal getting removed from playtest because I know for a fact that I have put more effort into playtest than any other person in this game. I promise you. I promise you right now, I put more effort into playtest than anyone else in this game. I was the longest serving playtester out of anyone. I think I was in playtest about 5-6 years. I put the most effort in, and to be removed from playtest from, no offense, from a developer for Space Ape who's been here about 6 months when you put in years of work. And so now I was like, I don't care what happens now. And yeah, I did spit my dummy out, and I was quite, vicious in the sense of like, listen, playtest can die for all I care. But sometimes you sort of see the error of your ways and go, yeah, at the time I reacted quite badly to it. But we do need playtest. But to see it go so backwards now to how it was invigorating. There was discussions, arguments, and yeah, like I said, just don't take it personal. Have these discussions. Don't be scared of not insulting people, but don't be scared of saying to someone, I disagree. Sometimes we're too snowflakey, and you're scared to offend person by just saying, I disagree with you, and saying why. What's wrong with saying I don't agree with what you're saying? I don't see why that you can be offended by that as long as you back that up with a statement. You can't just go, I disagree with that. Why? Why do you disagree with that? For what reason? Because of this. And then you can talk and have a discussion about it on whether they're right or wrong. Sometimes you will look and go, well, no, I don't really think that'll happen like that, or that'll be used like that, or that's the case. Sometimes, like I said, you can look at it and go, you know what? You've got a point, and I've done that plenty of times to people that are not at a higher level, to people that are, definitely not even content creators or anything like that. It happens. You get different aspects of it. But I just think something needs to change to playtest. It needs invigorating somehow, because 9 people, 9 opinions from 9 people that are going to make 2 comments, it's just not enough. We need more people in there that's going to fight for players, that's going to disagree with SA, are going to push the bots more and push for more, and not just settle for average content maybe.